Hello and welcome back to a Mr. Burnett screencast. We are currently working on the Grannyflat tutorial. This is part 2. We'll go ahead and pick up where we left off. So right here is where we were just at. We have pulled up our walls by 10 feet and we were ready to start adding doors and windows. So I'm going to grab my eraser tool, and there's some unnecessary lines on here, so I can just select those. I've noticed sometimes it will erase a wall if you get rid of these lines, so figure out which one that is, and you don't have to erase it if it is getting rid of one of your walls. I'm going to go ahead and rotate into the house and delete these ones. There's a couple unnecessary lines on the inside. It's usually where you have a wall intersecting that it creates one of those. All right, so now I'm going to go to the very front of the house and I'm going to create a door. So this is our entryway right here. So we're going to build a door right on the front. I'm going to grab my rectangle tool and snap to the bottom. I'm going to draw a door, and it's going to be 3 feet by 7 feet. Any standard door that we'll use in this class is going to be 3 feet by 7 feet, unless it's a closet or something else. Okay, so the big thing I want to make sure is that if you draw it and you notice it's in line with a wall, even if it's barely touching it, it's not going to work. So you got to grab your move tool and you got to scoot it over so it's perfectly between and it's not going to run into anything. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is grab the push-pull tool, and I'm going to push in till it says the offset is limited, and it should say 6 inches because that's the width of the wall. If you do that correctly, it should cut out a hole in your wall. If it doesn't work, do Control Z and try it again. Okay, so once you have that perfect hole in the wall, we're going to go ahead and add our other doors. I'm just going to show you where those doors are at. I'll let you push them in yourself. So there should be one door located on the bedroom. That's again a 3 by 7. There's going to be another door located on the closet. Now, closet, this one right here is a 4 foot wide closet, so you can actually go a little bit wider for closets. This is the bathroom door here. Again, here's another closet. Okay, here's a good example. This is a 6 foot wide closet. So again, I don't need to do 3 by 7. I can actually do a much larger door on the surface there because standard closets are going to be a little bit wider. Now, there should be closet doors here. And you can draw them if you'd like. They're only going to be about a foot wide. I'm just going to pass on that for now. So I should have all those on there. Again, you're going to push those in until it says offset reach is limited. The interior walls are 4 inches, so those are only go in by 4. And actually, I can just double click and it'll remember the depth that I pushed those in because that was what I did last. Okay, now we're going to do the kitchen. And if you notice on there, there's 2 different things showing up on the kitchen. The first, we're going to do kind of an open archway here. So again, I'm going to grab my rectangle, I'm going to draw it up, and I'm going to make this about 5 feet by 6 feet. Just so that's about the right size. I'm going to scoot it over so I can center it. Right about there, and I'm going to grab my 2-point arc tool, just like we did with the doghouse tutorial. I'm going to go from the end point here over to the other end point and click, and now I can suggest the direction. I only need to go up about 1.5 feet. Again, I can erase this, and now if I double click the surface, it's going to remember and open up. So there's our archway into the kitchen. Now here, this is going to be kind of like an open concept. You're going to notice the counter of the kitchen where the sink goes is going to go straight into the living room. So to do that, I just grab my pencil tool. I'm going to cut the roof right here, and the same thing on the other side, and we're going to push this down by, let's do 6 feet, so we have a 4 foot high counter on the inside in there. Okay, so the inside's pretty much done at this point. We're going to work on our windows now. Okay, so I'm going to spin around to the outside. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to grab my tape measure tool. Now, unless otherwise specified, we're going to have all of our windows be 3 feet off the ground and 3 feet from the top. So to do that, I need to measure from the bottom, and I'm going to go right here again. I don't want to go from midpoint. I want to go from where it says on edge. I'm going to go up and type in 3 feet. And do the same thing up here. Click and do 3 feet. There we go. And it should be, because this is 7 feet, that should go right to the top of your doorway. Okay, that's right. All of our windows are going to go within this little space here. But I'm going to go ahead and do this all the way around the house. So if I go here on the edge on the other side and drag down, it should snap right here to 3 feet. You'll see it says 3 feet right there. And it'll make it real quick. So again, snap to 3 feet. Snap to 3 feet. Again, I'm looking right here and making sure it snaps and says 3 feet. Same thing on this side. Snap to 3 feet. Snap the 3 feet, and there we go. We've got them all snapped in the right location. Now I can grab my rectangle tool, and right here in the kitchen, we're going to go ahead and draw a window. Now, some of these aren't going to be on here. You'll notice on the floor plan, there's actually only 2 windows drawn, so we're going to add some ourselves. I'm going to make this about whatever size. You can do it however you like. I'm going to make a window about that size. I'm going to push it in. This is the exterior wall, so it should go. I'm going to reference the second edge here, but it should go in by 6 inches. So you could type in 6 inches, or you could reference it like I have. Okay, same thing. I can draw all my other windows. So here's the other side of the, might do a skinny window here. The living room, I'm going to do a much larger window for the living room. And then we'll do 2 small windows on this side of the living room. And I'm making sure I don't run into the walls here. Okay, the bedroom, let's do a nice square one about right there. Other side of the bedroom, another square one right about there. Okay, and then the bathroom, usually bathrooms don't have windows unless they're the really tall, skinny ones. So I'm going to do a little window right there. Okay, and then now I can grab my push-pull tool and I can double click. It's going to remember I did 6 inches. Go all the way around, do the little bathroom window. And now I can grab my eraser tool and erase all my measurements. And there we go. We are set. We've got everything put in here that we need. All the doors, all the windows. The windows, again, are 3 feet off the ground on 3 feet from the ceiling. And from here, you should be able to save. And you're ready to go with your Grannyflat.